Hey lovers, where are you? Where are you? Are you in a relationship? Come closer, come closer, come closer. See, let me give you some big sister advice, okay? Are you in a relationship and also do business? This session will particularly give you some pointers, okay? Are you also someone who is wondering what it feels like to be in love with someone and work with the person? We're not talking about people who are married now, because yes, people who are married can actually do business together, be partners, and succeed and slay, because they made a commitment to stay all the way. So whether they're experiencing losses, they are there. When they are winning, they are there, right? We are talking about those who are in a relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, whatever, right? And I know that even before people decide to do business together, is because in their mind they are thinking that they're going to be there for the long haul, right? So why love and business don't always mix, in my own experience, is what we're going to share tonight. And this is episode 7 of Being Chisom. Now let me ask, have you ever done business with your girlfriend or your boyfriend? Let me know in the comments, okay? Or do you know someone who has done this successfully with their boyfriend or their girlfriend and the business actually succeeded? Please tell us in the comments, share with us. See, this is very important so that we can, have some empirical evidence whether this is working or not. Let me know, I beg. I want to know, right? It is possible that maybe you've never experienced it, but you feel like it sounds cool. It feels like the ultimate power move, that you have a partner who you're in love with, even though you guys are not married yet, but you guys are supporting each other's hustle and your dreams. They seem to just gel. Have you ever thought about what if this doesn't lead to marriage eventually? What happens when things fall apart? That's a critical question I want you to keep at the back of your mind, because I'm going to be telling you my own experiences. You can label me anything after now. I don't care. I'm really out for it. That's why I decided to come share at the end of the day, right? So if you've been here from episode 1, say, I don't get any secret again. I'm come to share. So when I moved to Abuja, from Aba in Nigeria at 27, ran away from home. It was all about me trying to find myself. I wanted independence. I wanted to find a job. I wanted to grow. I wanted to build something meaningful for my life, right? Now, in my very early stage of business, actually before the business stage even started, I met someone who I felt shared my passion for entrepreneurship and all that. Or will I say, who shared my passion for freelancing, not really entrepreneurship, because I don't think he really had a knowledge of entrepreneurship at that much. Anyway, before I continue, my name is Chisom, and today or tonight, this is about past 9 p.m. in Nigeria. I want to share another angle of my personal story with you, how I think that love and business in my life collided, and the heartbreak that followed, and the priceless lessons, which is the part that concerns you, the priceless lesson that I had learned along the way. And this is part of my 30-day series called Being Chisom. It's a 30-day series, motivational video series, where I'm sharing my business lessons, and this is episode 7. So we still have like 23 episodes to go, and it happens every day this same time. And hey God, it is all of my experience from building a publishing company and running and also building my personal brand for the last 15 years. That I've been doing this. Is my gift to you, and I welcome you to join. And drop a comment, let me know that you're here. Also ask me questions. Questions will help me dig in deeper in case there are places you want me to explain that I'm rushing off over, and I'll share everything that I know that will help you. So let me know in the comment section, are you in a relationship right now? Are you in love with a girl? Are you married? Are you thinking of getting into a relationship? Let me know in the comment section. Thank you, Camille. First to get here, Raja. Hi, Raja. Camille, welcome. Yay. Thank you for thinking I'm gorgeous. Raja, welcome. I am Ara. Welcome. Shots, welcome. Lakshmikant, welcome. Tiger Mate, welcome. Binders, welcome. Yay, welcome. Okay, welcome all, guys. I'm excited to see you. So, I was talking about this young man I had met who I thought had the same love for freelancing like myself, right? Well, my love extends to you. Thank you so much, sweetie. So, I thought we had the same we had the same passion for business. Mind you, if you remember from the past episode, at this time of my life, which was also in the early 2009, I was a JJC when it came to business. So there was not even a way I would have known that he was not really like a business-minded person. Being an entrepreneur is a different thing from being a freelancer or working on your own. Anyway, so I had met this guy and we decided to start two businesses together. One was a publishing company and the other one was an event planning company and we had also landed a contract job at that time to plan a particular beauty pageant that was going to hold in the whole country and all that. And we started, it felt like we were a match made in heaven. Like, oh my gosh, he was a PK. PK means pastor's kid, because I'm also a pastor's kid. So it felt so right. And we were all both on the same table about not defiling the bed before marriage. I'm Christian and I value those kind of virtues. And he also did. We were both creatives. He was tall. Girls understand this. When somebody is tall, I'll give you that movie. For me as a girl, I was just like, oh my God, I got everything in one package. He's tall. Let me say, he's still alive? So he's tall, he's handsome. He's handsome. He's also well spoken and had amazing siblings. His siblings were amazing. His older sister had become my friend. I had spoken to his younger ones as well. He had super duper parents, of course. And what more can a young, pretty Christian virgin girl like myself at that time, what else was I looking for in a man? I had it all together, or so I thought. Okay. And who better to build a business empire, build wealth with than someone like that, right? That was my full thought. All right. And just before that time, I had turned down a marriage proposal from another guy who I used to know, but we were not close. We were never friends. Just a year before that time, I turned it down because I was scared. I was scared of marriage, not because I was scared of marriage in that sense, but because I didn't really know this guy. I had known him. He was just like an acquaintance for the past few years, and we hadn't even spoken like up to 3-4 years before. As at that time, he just calls me up and comes to propose marriage, and that was because his parents wanted to arrange a quick marriage for him, and he had to choose a good girl. And he thought, okay, he went outside his friend's circle and thought of me. So when he came, I was skeptical. I was like, I really don't know this guy, right? So it wasn't born out of friendship, and I was very scared about not getting into marriage and then discovering somebody else. I didn't just know the guy, right? Even though he's not a bad person, I didn't think he was a bad person in that sense. Then that had just passed when I met this person that I'm describing to you. This person, the tall PK guy, okay? I'm sorry. I didn't just meet the guy. After that marriage proposal that I turned down, I reconnected with this guy. Actually, he was somebody I had also met in fellowship years before. Then we reconnected. Those were the days of Yahoo Messenger. Oh my gosh, that was 2008, 2009. So we reconnected through Yahoo Messenger. We started chatting every day, making calls every day, fell in love on phone, all of that, everything. We still hadn't seen physically again. One of those days, weeks after weeks and months, he proposed on phone. I remember I was crying. I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Love and crushing can play a number on us. Love is a beautiful thing, don't get me wrong, okay? Now, and that was during the season of MTN night calls, what they call those, like MTN midnight calls, like you have free calls at midnight. So we'll maximize that, and I was working then. I was working in a financial institution at that time, and I'll stay up late talking to my sweetheart in that sense. Who remembers that time in Nigeria where we had free calls at midnight? Oh my gosh. Anyway, all of this was happening at that time. But the thing is, of course, things didn't go as planned. Of course, I'm not married to either of these people, right? So of course, things didn't go as planned for this particular young man. Even though he had all the qualities I wanted and entered the relationship, he finally moved cities to my city, to my new city where I had also moved, and our personal relationship blossomed. We started thinking business, doing stuff together, design, poetry, all of those events and stuff. But it got to a point where our personal relationships started being affected because, first of all, we weren't doing business, we were just freelancing. A year after, I thought that we should really say proper business. That way, we are legally binded, we can do our business anyhow, we can really pull some big stuff. And that was around the time we were about to get a contract for planning and a beauty pageant. But some things also started happening. We were not just, rhyming. Miscommunications, disagreements started coming in. We started having conflicting priorities. At that time, I felt since we are both struggling, maybe one person should get a job. I was also working. So I was thinking, okay, let's both have a job while we raise our company and then build it so that at least we have money to move around. But he was not in that mind frame. He felt like we are going to do this freelancing thing. Anytime it blows. So, and I wasn't comfortable with not just having money about, and he wasn't just looking the way I was thinking, right? Anyway, and these things started creeping in one after the other. It was no longer just a business partnership. It became like, a silent battle of sorts, where I just couldn't go through, pull through here. I just felt something was off about us, but it didn't quite make sense to me until one day I was in a wedding in church. One of our friends in church were getting married. In fact, we even planned the surprise proposal or so of that couple. They were our friends, and this was their wedding day. And I was sitting down somewhere in the church aisle as they were exchanging vows, which is of course my favorite part of any wedding. And as we were exchanging vows, I remember that particular couple in particular, there was something very unique about them. One of it was that the guy was 5 years younger than the lady. Yes. And they were the talk of town in our church at that time. Beautiful couple. I mean, they are still together today. Amazing. And also, I and this guy had a 2 years gap. I was older, So sort of we had shared stuff. We shared that thing about the guy is younger in that sense. But as I sat down in that wedding, it dawned on me that the beauty and the happiness this lady had, standing right there, exchanging vows with her husband. I didn't think I would be that happy, assuming it was my wedding. And it took that wedding ceremony to open my eyes that I wasn't going to be happy to get married to this guy. And I made up my mind sitting there that leaving this wedding, I'm going to call off the relationship. Yes, call me weird, whatever. That's how that relationship ended. At the end of that wedding, I told him, I think we should just remain friends, because he had met my family. He had even taken wine to my parents, all that. So we knew each other kind of. But I said no. That was in May of that year. And at first he thought it was a joke. He kept saying, no, stop joking and all that. But I meant it. And the moment I withdrew, I didn't miss him a bit. I mean, I just felt. But now, what I didn't think about was that relationship was already 3.5 years at that time before I called it off. And that was how both the business and the relationship fell apart, especially the event planning business in particular fell apart. I was already running the publishing company on my own because I had the skill set. I was editing and proofreading as a freelancer at that time. Even when we rated the company, I was not yet, we had not really started, using it. Now, when it fell apart and all that happened, I was wondering what will now happen to the business now. And let me tell you, losing both the business and the relationship at the same time was kind of hard for me. Not because I was invested emotionally, not really. I was happy. I left the relationship and I felt it was the best thing for both of us. And because it was platonic as well, I mean, I was proud of the fact that we stayed 3.5 years without, without messing it up. So there was no, guilt and regret. And I can tell you, if you're a young person, don't start what you cannot finish. See, there's no joy, no matter how the world wants to paint it, there's no joy in premarital sex, right? This is coming from somebody who maintained her stand and at a point also lost guard, right? I know the difference. Okay. Why it was tough was not because of the emotional attack, like I was saying, but why it was tough was that for me to finally gain financial control over the company I had registered, or we had registered, and to get him to sign off on his shares was the hard part. I know I mentioned this in the past episode. See what happened. These two companies we had started, one was a limited liability company, one was a sole proprietorship. We were both partners. Because I was the one that had a job and was doing this, he didn't want to get a job and didn't want to work for anybody. According to him, he didn't have his own income. So I took my money to register this company. Now, every smart business person will know that you don't give shareholding in your company just like that. But do you know the foolish thing I did? I gave 50%. I made the company 50%. I 50, he 50 for both of the companies. And he didn't contribute 1 naira. That's one. Yes, he was contributing with the marketing, with the creatives, with meeting people. But that was just another part of the activity that kept our friendship going, doing all of that. And we were a good force in that sense, because we approached businesses and clients together. So getting him to sign off on the shares after when I had not decided to run the company was hard, because he wanted to use it as punishment for me in that sense. And I went all because I did this out of my kind heart. You didn't put any money. It's not like I have any money I have to pay you back and all that. So that was the hard part. But thankfully, it didn't last so long. And that was the point. I was trying to get a bank account for the company and then start doing the business. And after a while, he was able to sign off and all that. And yeah. Now, this is one part where I did a partnership that was not smart. I had another relationship later, like 7 years later. I was still single. Yes, I was single till my late 30s. In fact, I got married a month to my 40th birthday, in case you needed to know. So you have that information. So in my I was 38 at this time. I had met another guy, but we dated about 18 months. He was also like a PK, pastor's kid, but this guy was different. I think he had that bad boy mix that somehow the good girl in me wanted. I don't know how to explain it. Well, and again, I started pushing him towards, let's do this together. Let's build health. Let's build wealth. Let's build wealth. Please don't do this. Don't do it. And we incorporated a company, which is now the third company. And I incorporated with him. This time he contributed. He brought his own income. He also had a steady job, so a bit different from the other guy, right? He had also met my parents, my siblings, right? I was invested in this one as well. Maybe because of my age, I felt okay. They are from good family. Maybe he would change. I don't know what I was thinking, but this guy wasn't compatible with me. I mean, in that sense, I only found out later. Say this love can blind somebody. So it was after the relationship that my eyes cleared. At this time, I was 38. And one thing is that beyond the registration we did, in fact, we incorporated this company we were 3. There was another friend of mine too, who I asked him to bring in last minute. And we became co-founders. We were 3 of us. And I made sure that I had a majority share, right? I think I had 70%, yeah. He had 220, and the other guy has 10%, yeah. Now, what were the lessons that I learned running this company? The third company I incorporated with these other 2 guys, they were both guys, was a blogging agency, because I wanted to do PR, do the things I was already doing, do bloggers party and events, and the award ceremonies, conferences. These were things I had already started doing as an offshoot of my personal brand, and I wanted to raise a different company, different from the publishing company from it. And at this time also, around this time, I had to sell off the event planning company. And I also had to go back to that former guy. At that time, he was married, had 2 children. I had to start looking for him to sign off. You know how these legal things are. The person just had to sign off because I was now to share to sell it off. And at this point, I was selling it off. The person who was buying it was, was very ready to pay. So I had to. This second time that I needed him to sign off on that company was not like sign off for the person to buy it off, because the person had money. So I promised that I was going to share the money with him. And I think the money came handy, so he signed off, and I gave him his own part of the money and all that. So, and the man who bought the company took it away because it was now an asset. That company was already more than 8 years at the time I sold it. Now, if you haven't liked this video, I don't know what you're waiting for. Like this video, okay? Please watch this video to the end. Support your girl, and this is going to be very exciting because we are getting into the part where we are going to talk what I learned in business and why you shouldn't, as a single person, get your significant other, somebody you're in love with, coerce them into doing business with you. Yeah. Okay, now what are the things that I learned? Love and all of its emotions, and then business with all of its logic, right? As separate emotions. I don't know how to, as very separate emotions. And you have to separate these emotions from decisions. I don't know if you understand what I mean. When you want to get into a partnership, whether personal partnerships or professional partnership, one thing I didn't get very clearly was clear communication of what we are doing. We may have said it in passing as friends, as lovers, but the part of clear communication that is documented, that thinking about it now, I shouldn't even get into a partnership with somebody I am not already married to. It doesn't matter how much hopeful, because making sure that your goals and what you want align. I remember the very second relationship, it became like we were so misaligned that when I was going to close any deal, the guy's opinion would always stop that deal from going through. It was maddening. I remember so many times I had to leave meetings frustrated, and the person I came to see was like, I don't understand. We had a conversation about this and we said, let's meet. Why is that your guy or your manager talking that way? And I just couldn't understand, what goes on in his mind when things like that were happening. And it also boils down to mutual respect. For you to have partnerships, you must have mutual respect for each other and each other's opinion as well. So the most important lesson I learned is that these things has to be in place. Clearly communication, align, make sure your goals align. Make sure that you're not doing this because of love, right? And in fact, apart from these two people that I rated a company with, I had other guys who were my friends who I just tried to push into making money, into doing things with me, exposing my contacts to them. One of them even almost blackmailed me at some point because he went back to a client I took him to work with me on, and then tried to go as a guy for money. And the client called me and said, this guy came asking for money and all that. What's happening? It is embarrassing, guys. I have seen the one that passed Beati, Nigerian people, when it comes to this whole relationship and business thing. I am always the supportive girlfriend, trying to make sure that, my guy is on point, we are working together, we are winning together, and it never ended well. And that's why I said today, it didn't end well, because I can see I didn't marry any of those people, and I'm happy I didn't, that God saved me out of those situations, okay? Now, failure doesn't mean the end. So those were things that failed. My own love and business did not work. I'm married now. My husband contributes to my business, but it's not like we could own it. So I think it's healthier, right? He has his own company, I have my own company. We contribute towards each other's company, but we don't have to, per se, be partners. But even if we decide, it's gonna work because we're a couple, like we are in it together. But all those friendship, boyfriend, girlfriend, please don't do it. Don't do it. So when I failed at these things, I knew it was a redirection. Thankfully, God did my redirection in a very beautiful way. It made me go back home to take care of my parents. and it just erased all of the hurts and hurdles and challenges I had faced in this big city I had lived for 12 whole years, right? Now, after that experience, what I did was I doubled down on improving myself. I doubled down on learning from people who have succeeded. I went all in. I was researching. I poured my energy into growing my business on my own terms. Now, why it is very risky to have business partnership with somebody that you're in love with, of course, it's very clear. Emotions will mix things up. You'll be thinking one way, you might not know what is in the other person's mind. The relationships may not work at the end of the day, so what happens? You don't want the legal headache of going to disentangle the person for the company. Like my third company, I just abandoned it. Like I don't even have strength. Not after I've gone through all that I've gone through with the first two. I just abandoned it seriously. Every time our bankers were always calling me or saying, "Oh, you guys are not banking yet. What's happening?" I just told them, "See, that company is not running. Just forget it. I know you're trying to make money and meet your target. Please don't just put that. Just forget it." Okay, the hassle is a lot, right? After that experience, I read everything I needed to read about leadership, about business, about marketing in particular. I had to learn to market, and over time, I built systems and practices and policies around what I do without having emotional ties with anybody. And then I realized that having and I wouldn't say in any of the situations that I really had any heartbreak, not really in that state, but of course it's heartbreaking because you're planning one thing and then it doesn't work again. It's like the death of something, right? So you feel it, especially the second one. The first one, not really. No, that situation can be a fuel for your resilience. Let me even tell you, when the second relationship ended, I fell into depression. I never even knew what depression was at that time until I was diagnosed of it, and God help me, I pulled out. I went to therapy. I finally went to even get a certification in therapy. That was how much I like to learn and help other people as well. So I saw it as a chance for me to be stronger, to build smarter systems with more purpose. And of course, if you have been part of this story series since episode 1, part of why I'm sharing my story is because I'm entering the next phase of my business and my life. And these things are worth documenting. And I know it's going to bless millions of people, which is why I will ask for your help. Please do share this video with someone. And go back and watch the other episodes, drop a comment, watch all my other videos and support what I'm doing. If you like anything, let me know in the comments of any of those videos what you loved about it. If you have questions, also ask me. This is something I'm doing for humanity, right? Now, I would say that if you're thinking of starting a business with anyone you love, hold up. Yeah, please. Or if maybe you are even struggling right now with a partnership that has already failed, take my advice. Next time, set boundaries early, talk about it early, get the legal things done, figure out what if this doesn't work, how do we keep working? That might even be what might give you a reset not to do it in the first place, because if you can't imagine, okay, if we break up, how are we going to still working together? You can just decide not to do it. If I thought like that, I wouldn't have bothered registering a third company. Do you understand? Also, as my advice is, separate your personal life from your professional life. I mean, just be in love and let that be your personal life. Leave your business to be yours and managed by you, and just be separate from your personal life. The same way you should keep your personal money from your business money, really. And also, like I said, have a clear exit plan for anybody. If you don't want to do it again, how do you close out and all that? It's okay to feel hurt. It's okay for things not to work. It's okay to feel pain, but don't let it stop you. Let it instead become the reason why you make your future better. Use it as fuel for your growth. Okay. Now, I wanted to ask you, what are the topmost things that you think are usually a problem for people in love who are also trying to do business together before they get married, right? Let me know in the comments as well. First of all, I have systems and courses and programs I have designed that I think you should come on board, or if you should tell somebody who needs it. Running a business can be tasking, especially if you don't have anybody guiding you towards it. I have in my publishing company, Logos Audibles, We have been doing business now for 15 years. And we have trained a lot of people through the systems of our business. One of them is our Editor's Business School. If you're somebody who is very good with spotting written errors and you want to know how to convert it into a thriving business like I did in 2009, you can come on that course. It's only $499 and it's a whole 1-year program with coaching and 2 courses that will blow your mind. Everything from business to operations to grammar to branding to marketing. I cover everything from my experience, best practices that is working for us, so that you don't have to start making mistakes and all that. Also, we also have a program called Content Money. If you're somebody who is trying to start building your personal brand, or if you're a CEO, an executive, and you want to write a book and all that, let me know in the comment section as well. We have programs and products that will guide you, and I'm going to pin it in the comment section and also in the description box. So now let me know if you have any questions. Binders, hi, I'm Indian. Okay, what do you offer in freelancing? Well, I have transitioned from freelancing into entrepreneurship. Okay, no questions yet. So shorts, I have transitioned from freelancing into entrepreneurship for a few years. I think that freelancing is great. It's a great place to start, to begin to master your skills and begin to sell your products and your services. So yeah, that's what I can say. I hope this video was, gave you some insights. Have you faced any of these kind of challenges? Let me know. Nobody's talking yet, but I know I'm going to get responses later. I'd like to hear your story and connect. If you found this useful, please give this video a thumbs up and drop a comment. Make sure you watch out for tomorrow. We're going to dive deeper into more things that I'm going to tell you about. Don't miss it. This always comes live every night, 9 p.m. Nigerian time. This is 9:42 now, so we've been here for about 42 minutes or less than that. So please join me tomorrow and be amazing. This is kind of the shorter episode. But if I see a question, I'll continue. But if I don't see a question, I'll be off in the next 3 minutes. So let me wait. Questions. Hey, have any question for me? Even if it's about myself, about my business, whatever it is, just feel free to ask your questions. Thank you for everyone who dropped a comment, came on the live. I love the engagement earlier before. Yeah. Thank you so much. So I can't see anybody on the live, and that means I'm not going to see any questions. So let me say good night from Uyo in Nigeria. Catch you tomorrow right here or in the comment section, and I'm going to be answering you right away. All right. Cheers. Bye.